What's good, people? It's your boy C6 back for another edition of Let Me Land, but this time we're doing it in conjunction and we're doing it with the Affiya Effect. So, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, all right?
Thanks for having me.
Nice. Well, thanks for having me. And you're nice, all good. So, before we go anywhere, just let everyone know what the Affiya Effect is and where they can, log on and subscribe or whatever.
Yeah. So the Affiya Effect essentially is a wellness and well-being brand platform. And we kind of specialise in all the areas of wellness. There's 8 of them. If anybody didn't know, I'm going to let you lot do your Googles to find out what they are. So you can find me at the Affiya Effect on Instagram or theaffiyaeffect.com.
And I'll put all the links down below. But yeah, so we've linked up today. We've got a few things to talk about. I feel like, so obviously the situation with that you in Mitcham happened, and I feel like it threw a lot of people's energy off.
Yeah.
And then we had a conversation, and you were saying like that you wanted to have a chat about it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, there's so many angles that we can discuss about it. And the reason why I kind of said let's kind of have a chat about it is because me personally, I was like, men need to speak to other men about what it is to be consensual. Like talking about consent, talking about rape culture, talking about their own traumas, and actually just holding each other accountable. Because that guy, he ain't in isolation. Do you see what I'm saying? He's got a whole group of friends, he's got man them around him, and certain men will know what he's doing and be turning blind eyes or acting like it's not that serious and all of this. So I kind of wanted to speak to you as a man to kind of get your viewpoint on this type of situation, the importance of brotherhood and men holding other men accountable. Because I feel like women, we always speak up, we always having conversations, girls always chatting, this, that. But we don't necessarily hear the guy's input.
The man them
guy's got to say about this.
The man them do talk. Obviously, I can only talk about for me and my guys or men in my generation. And I feel like we do talk about things, and not like in particular, if my friends are acting up a bit, I'm the kind of person that always tell people, but that could just be me. I like telling people off.
Really? You never noticed that about you. Never noticed that.
But yeah, so I feel like that could just be me and my circle.
Yeah.
I do know that some men see their friends and stuff act up or, do something more. And they do turn a blind eye. I remember being in the barber's once when I was a youth. Might have been about 18. And the barber came running out and hollered at my schoolgirl. And obviously she just kept it moving or whatever. But why it stands out to me, because 20 minutes later she come back with her dad. And he was going mad.
Crud.
Yeah, he was on crud. But no one called out the barber beforehand. So only when the dad come, and
no, they would have started condemning the man.
Yeah, whoa, the dad was on crud, and I thought, right, if you got to pick a side right now. But the fact is, you're right. Like it happened. She's blatant schoolgirl. She's in her uniform, and he's hollering. Do you get what I'm saying? So, okay. So before we go into that, the situation that happened last week, was like, I don't know if it fits into this actual conversation, because I feel like that's an abduction. He abducted her, like he didn't try and chat her up, because sometimes guys are really forceful with the chat up. Yeah. That arm around thing. When I first saw the first video, I was thinking that he was one of them big boys that are trying to, just put a lot of pressure on the girl. You get what I'm saying? But to see the second video, when he actually just run up behind her and grabbed her.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they wasn't together in any. They wasn't. She was just walking. He just crossed the road. Yeah. And he grabbed her and turned a different direction and walked off with her with his hand over her face.
Mad. See, I didn't even
so
see that.
So that there, I can show you afterwards. Yeah, but that there changed the whole understanding of that, because that had gone from my initial thought of this youth's a scumbag and he's a piece of shit, to he's a fucking mental piece of shit. Do you get what I'm saying?
Full out predator.
Yeah, he's a predator.
A sexual predator.
Part of me was thinking, like, I'm so glad he didn't have a van. He's the kind of guy that
just scoop up a girl and just
in the van.
Gone.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mad.
I was thinking, like, this is an absolute madness, and that resonated with me, because I got daughters, and my daughters like are of age. They go to school, similar like age. They travel to school on their own. You get what I'm saying? They're teenagers. So I'm there thinking, I'm furious, and I'm thinking, Mitchell, I'm gonna go down there. I was on that. Yeah, I was on that. Yeah, I was on that because it was proper. It proper got to me. You know, hearing the girl cry in the proper like that.
I'm telling you,
that nearly made me cry.
I'm telling you,
it's mad.
Yeah, that was emotional.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we definitely have an issue with men and the way that they deal with women.
Yeah.
And we also have an issue with women not speaking about the way men deal with them, because there's a lot of girls. I think of course there's a problem.
You think women don't speak about that?
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of women that have been inappropriately touched, dealt with, and just.
Oh, you're saying that they don't expose it.
They don't expose it. They don't tell no one.
Okay.
They don't tell their brothers, their cousins, teachers, their dad. They don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like when I spoke about the girl in the barbers, she went home. Obviously, she was visibly upset. She probably told her dad straight away. But she was just. Some people just go in their room and cry, and then you're right. Yeah, I'm fine. I don't say nothing. Do you get what I'm saying? And that guy has done that to another, and it just keeps going. The cycle just keeps happening. Do you get what I'm saying? So everyone needs to be held accountable because it takes us all to make change. Do you get what I'm saying? So we have to educate our sons and the young men around us to like deal with women properly. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they are the queens, innit? We have to respect your women.
You lot all came from a woman.
Yeah, you have to respect your women.
You would not be here if it wasn't for a woman.
That's right. You have to respect your women.
It's mad to me.
Yeah, of course it's mad. But also, if women don't highlight who is the problem, they go undetected. And if they go undetected, they pass their fuckery on to someone else. Because most of these things are learnt behaviour.
This is fact.
Do you get what I'm saying? So if there's a youth getting away with all this fuckery and he's doing it, but he's chatting to one next impressionable youth. Yeah. Come on, you mean just grab her, man. What?
But do you know what? The only reason I'm gonna disagree with you, and it's not really a disagreement, it's just a bit of a point. It's just like it's almost like victim blaming. It's almost saying, well, why didn't you speak up? Why ain't you saying nothing? When really, if there wasn't nothing to speak about in the first place, then I got nothing to say. Yeah. I hear you know what I'm saying? So the man them should know. Guys should be having conversation. Because one thing I've noticed about our community as well, because the first thing that happened, like when that whole situation kind of went viral, I got a bag of messages, right, from people in the community, parents, blah, blah, whatever. And 90% of those messages were, parents talk to your young child. Parents talk to your daughters. Daughters, focus, let the girls know, make sure you're protecting the daughters, which is all fine and valid because we do need to be talking to them. We do need to be letting them be aware of, the things that could be going on outside when they step out of the house. But like I said, 90% of the focus was talk to the girls. Yeah. When the perpetrator was a boy.
Yeah, I get you.
See what I'm saying? So where's all this conversation with the boy there?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I understand. But let's look at it like this. I've got daughters. Yeah. And I've got sons. Yeah. But my first initial thought was to speak to my daughters so that they could be aware of their surroundings. I'm going to explain so that they can carry themselves a certain way. Yeah. They can be aware of their surroundings. Little things, walking with your what they called AirPods. Yeah, all of these things that cost a whole heap of money. That you know what I'm saying. But anyway, walking with your earphones in, texting as you're walking, not paying attention to what's around you, not understanding your surroundings, not even knowing how to deal with a situation. No, hold on. Listen, not knowing how to deal with a situation. Yeah. Like if you get grabbed or whatever. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So yes. Speaking to them on how to deal with it. Speaking to my son is about educating him. But right now, if we're going to look at present danger... Hold on. If we're going to look at present danger... Yeah. Obviously, based on the situation that's happened, there's a thing called copycat criminals. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, it's a real life thing.
That's real life things. Yeah. Like I've just read today that they have tried to abduct a girl in Fulton Heath. Nice. They stabbed a teenage schoolgirl on the way to school in Fulton Heath. They tried to grab a boy. Like, these things... All right, so basically, the abuse is rife, as you were saying, but it's in people's families. Like, some people don't... Like, I didn't realise that uncles and dads
I'm
and
telling you,
like your dad's best friend. Like these guys are actually they're real life fucking predators out there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some people ain't going the full hog, but some of them are touching and saying silly little things. You get what I'm saying? And these are the things that when I say that girls need to highlight. Listen, I've got a set of man friend around me, yeah, and we've all got girl children, and we're like a little village, and we raise our
nicely
kids
together.
Yeah, we raise our kids together. Do you get what I'm saying? And their kids come around my yard, and my kids go around their yard, and etc. etc. Do you get what I'm saying? However, if uncle was to do something inappropriate, you need to don't hide it. You need to say it, because he needs to be dealt with. He needs to be held accountable. Plus, he has his own daughter. So if you can be protecting other people. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just like, obviously, I don't wish none of that to happen, but that's just me trying to put my own scenario on blast in case it. Do you get what I'm saying? Everyone needs to be called out, like, because everyone needs to be safeguarded.
Right. So on that now, so you, like you said, you got your friend all the youths them grow together.
Yeah.
It's all vibes. You send your youth over there, vice versa, X, Y, Z. Boom. So imagine your daughter comes home to you now and says, "Yo, Uncle so and so did X, Y, and Z."
Yeah.
How would you? And obviously, it's a hypothetical. We don't ever know necessarily how things are going to play out until we find ourselves into that situation. However, your daughter comes home and says, "Boom, this happened."
Yeah. To be honest, you have to again. I think a lot of parents will sometimes, depending on the person they're speaking about, sometimes dismiss their kids. Never dismiss your kids. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
and that's what I'm asking.
Have these conversations. Like, have a really uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
And then I will go and have the conversation with. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just call the feds. Yeah. We're gonna have this conversation with said uncle, and I might be when I'm going to your yard. I will have something on me. There's something there.
No might.
Yeah.
There's no might.
No, but I don't want to incriminate myself. But I will definitely.
Things will be handled.
Something will be dealt with in the way it needs to be dealt with, and I will be safeguarding anyone else that needs to be safeguarded, and I'm not scared to out. It's a lot of people have to understand. It's not grassing.
No, it's not.
It's not informing.
This is so essential.
If your friend is a fiddler or
you have to
or
make
a nod,
everybody know. Everyone needs to know.
It's not grassing.
I will go and post your picture around the ends.
It's not
to
grassing.
make people know.
And this is what
this man's out here troubling people's youths.
Yeah, it's not grassing. And it starts from alright. So in Jamaica, it's like these things happen, and it's mad in yard because like. The little girl thing is she grow a little breast and the man them on her. They've got sayings in yard. From she bleed, she can't take seed and all these. Are you like what?
It's straight paedophilia.
100%.
It's straight paedophilia.
100%.
It just is.
100%. And we have to break the chain. Yeah. And as I say, some people's families, it's rife in their families. Do you get what I'm saying? When I was growing up, there was a particular situation that happened. A friend of mine was trying to lips one gal. So we were young, we might have been about 14, and he was trying to like lips her or whatever. Like we was all chilling. It was nothing forceful.
Okay.
Then she just started bursting out into tears.
Raw.
Started hitting him and then run off. I was like, "What have you done?"
Trauma.
So we like got her like sit. Now I was one of her close friends. And like sit like, "What's going on?" Anyway, boom, she broke down. Someone in her family
troubled her.
Yeah, and used the same word that my man was using. So
what triggers it? Just triggered her.
Yeah,
on a mad one.
But we never knew.
Nobody knew.
You feel what I'm trying to say? And that's something straight away. And I'm like, bro, you could be a part. Like, you have to conduct yourself a certain way. My friend wasn't forcing himself, but he was doing the. Yeah, because you know what
but I'm not laughing obviously at the situation.
Yeah, I know, but that's it. You get what I'm saying? So it's mad. Because there's a fine line between, obviously, we've all had and
she might not even, obviously she experienced that thing, but she might not have even been aware herself how much of a trauma that was to her. And I say that only because the fact that he said that word set her off. Yeah. She might not have even been aware that just by hearing that would have done that to her. Obviously, the trauma is evident. But a lot of the time people go through these things, it's happened, it's in the past, they're living their day-to-day, they're active, they're doing their bits, and they don't realise it until something like that, and then it all surfaces again, and then you're like, fuck, like, I'm not over this. And so many people are going through their lives almost on an autopilot, acting like it's calm, this, that, and the other, and the trauma's rife in their life.
Yeah, but things like that you can't. I think most trauma, like if you can get closure, then you're okay. But something like that, you can never get closure.
But
do you get
how
what I'm
do
saying?
you get closure? Because, like you said, a lot of these people go through these things with people in their yard. People in their fucking family circle, the uncles coming around for Christmas. You gotta sit down there with the mac and cheese and the turkey with the man over there. No, please don't upset my life.
It's mad.
How do you get and that I know a particular, as I've just said that now, a particular situation of a person that I know personally who's grown adult in their top years was saying like, yeah, I had a family member molest me my whole life. I had to do Christmases, birthdays, all the family events. This person's there. And even, like, on their deathbed, they still didn't acknowledge, they still didn't say, like, the other family, like, the parents knew. The parents were just basically like, yeah, well, it's done. Don't talk about it. Don't say nothing. So this person has gone through their whole entire life with this, with their parents knowing, and this person is an older person to us, right? So it's just like, how do you go, people saying, oh yeah, you should talk up and whatever. But if your own parents in certain instances are not even there to back you, how are you going to encourage other people to talk up their things? You know what I'm saying? You know what's
mad? That's proper thrown me because but you're right. And a lot of parents know. And or they don't, again, it's something that people are scared to address. We gotta be uncomfortable. We gotta deal with things, you know. I know we sound very like a lot of the conversations that are happening based on this happening sound very reactionary.
Yeah.
But that's life, isn't it? Like we always react to things. Like being reactionary is how sometimes we are proactive. It's very strange, very awkward, but it's sometimes how it works.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact is, the quote unquote paedophile isn't just a old middle-aged white man
guy
with a long Mac that gives out
with the glasses.
With the glasses that gives out sweets, and he got a dodgy van.
Paedophile is mandem, as we've seen this week. Paedophile is your brethren from the ends. Paedophile is man who you're on the block with. Paedophile is your brother, your uncle,
your dad.
It's your stepdad. It's your actual dad.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like,
so how
and it's not scaremongering. Yeah. It's not to like, bro, now you gotta look at every single person and be like, bro. But like you said, it's raising their awareness and then educating people to be like I don't have children, me personally, but like you said about having uncomfortable conversations, it's like letting kids know what's appropriate in terms of touching, what's appropriate in terms of people setting their own boundaries to say, look, no, this isn't okay, and letting the kids feel like if something were to happen, there's no secret that I should have to keep from my family for this stranger.
Yeah. For anyone.
Yeah.
For anyone, even if, like,
for real,
you can
just
talk.
Stranger, but anyway.
The kids have to be comfortable enough to speak to someone. So if daddy's doing it, they can speak to mum. If mummy's doing it, because I'm not sure. The things that, like, let's not say it's just man.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
abuse
true.
is abuse.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, there's sexual abuse from all angles, and it's mad. You get what I'm saying? So if you just have to be able to be approachable to some kids, do you get what I'm saying? And let them talk, like, be that outlet, because some youths that you see on the road going mad, and you think, oh, they're dysfunctional. I remember him. He used to be such a good boy. He's been fucked about, and people he's been abused, and this is his outlet. So now he's a criminal, or now he's on the road. Do you get what I'm saying?
Or now he's abusing someone else.
He's abusing someone else. So the cycle goes around. But this reverts me right back to your initial point where you was onto me.
Sorry.
Nice, calm. Do you not feel that if we're speaking about it's your uncle, it's your dad, it's your, like, that's all the potentials that are out there, do you not feel like it's important to talk to the daughters first? Because these dangers are out there. You don't know who they are. They're all unidentified dangers. Yeah. So why not speak to your daughters first? Why not let that be the point of call first?
Yeah. Now on that level, now that you've kind of put it to me like that, I have to kind of concede in the sense of you got to deal with what's in your area of control in it. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So if your daughters are in your area, your zone of control, and you can't worry about what's going on outside, innit? Yeah. Like, what I can control is in here. My daughters and my families are here, so if I can talk to them and, like you said, prevent, then in that sense, 100%, like, talking to the daughters is part of the thing that we can be doing.
Yeah. And the educating of your sons and being open. Let your sons be in the conversation with your daughters. Like, have a big. I think speak to everyone individually. If you're gonna ask questions like, has anyone ever done this? Have you ever been touched? Has anyone ever, to have those conversations one-on-one. Therefore, like, there isn't I'm not trying to, because some siblings are teasing each other. And the whole.
And it plays into the shame.
Yeah, too much shame. So it's like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, but the little one-away conversation, okay, I can trust you. You got discretion. Cool. But when you're having conversations, group conversations, like, include everyone. And there shouldn't be an age limit.
No, I don't
include everyone.
I think that's a big part of what our issue is as a community as well. Is that once somebody is considered an adult, and then we got youths underneath, it's like, you ain't got no say.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen
and that's the big barrier is the generational gap. And I feel like the generational gap is only as big as it is because of that mentality. I'm an adult, you're a child, you listen to what I say, you do what I say, and that's just it. Yeah. And there's so much that we as adults can learn from the youth. And it's not just because we're adults and we're up in life and age that we know everything.
No, you have to chat to them. And you got to listen to them. Because it's another thing. I find that we speak for them.
Yes.
And we speak at them.
Yeah.
So listen to the children.
Let them have a voice.
Yeah, find out what is it that you're going through. What is it that you understand about this situation. Tell me your experiences. Do you get what I'm saying? Then talk about yours. I always talk to my daughters about what I've been through.
Yeah.
I tell them everything.
Yeah.
And my son, I tell them everything. From everything. I tell my daughters that what I was like when I was their age.
Really?
Yeah, I've got.
But I thought you was going to say you would talk to your daughters about like what you were like in terms of being with women.
Yes.
I was like, right.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
I've said because I want them to know what guys or young boys are looking for and what their mindset is and the type of. I told them the little lines I would drop. Even do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because why am I going to have this? I could teach a little boy how to be a gallus.
Yes.
With the things that I've been through.
Things that you know.
So why not teach my daughters how to avoid
the gallus?
Avoid that gallus. You get what I'm saying? You got to use your experience and be open. And they come to me and talk to me like, you get what I'm saying? And like there is a line because I don't want them to have boyfriends and stuff at a certain age until a certain age because I feel like school and studying and you know what I mean. So when you're 40, you can do all of that. Yeah.
Man said 40, you know this guy.
No, obviously there's like. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But at the moment, I'm not really trying to entertain that. But I need to explain all the other things first and just be open, innit? Just, tell me everything.
Because I feel like as well, it's going to happen.
Of course.
We all know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I feel, kind of guiding them and allowing them, like you said before, to know that when certain times come around, that they're not hiding from you.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So when certain things happen and the boyfriend does come or this particular phase of life happens, they feel comfortable enough to know that, right, Dad's been talking to me this whole time. Yeah. Dad's showing me certain runnings the whole time. Yeah. I can go and bring this.
They got to be straight. My sister never had a boyfriend right up until she was pregnant. Like me, my dad, my brothers.
He was like, what?
We didn't know she had a boyfriend. Like, you got a boyfriend? No. Next minute, pregnant. Yeah.
Belly come from nowhere. Immaculate conception.
Do you get what I'm saying? So. And that is because my dad may not have been very approachable in that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we are.
Was she young, your sister?
No, she wasn't young when she pregnant. I'm talking about she just didn't say nothing. She might have been 20 or 19.
Right.
You get me? So, but she just didn't say nothing. Like, no, she was playing innocent forever. And I think that's because that's the pressure that we put on her. Well, I say we because I'm younger than her, so it wasn't even me. But that's the pressure that I feel that she felt.
But meanwhile, you and your brothers was running right on the road.
Yeah. And I remember
doing things. But your little sister, she's not little, but your sister, bless her, is there shook to tell Dad you can't tell my brothers until belly come, and then it's like, rah.
They can't do nothing. I remember it was a stage because I think this is a big problem also. I might have been late teens, early 20s. I can't remember when, but I had a little run. Yeah. I was seeing a little run. Yeah. Oh, you know me for a minute, yeah?
Go on.
Oh, shit. But I had a little run, and I remember I was seeing a few girls at the time, and I remember I was bringing them to my house consecutive days.
Right.
And my dad was knocking off my fist, and he was kind of almost telling me, not that one. No,
that one. He was giving you the stamp of approval.
I remember one. He called me, but I made them all say hello and shit. Go upstairs, and then he called me and said, nah, No, don't. Just.
What was the reason for that one?
She wasn't pretty. But anyway, and then my mum was like, "Look, you can't do that. Don't bring no more girls to the house."
Thank you, mum.
Yeah,
thank you, mum.
This is not.
Need more mums like that.
Yeah, just don't do it. Can't bring no more girls to the house. Like I'm a woman. You're not showing no respect right now.
None at all.
And I thought, rah. That kind of sat with me.
Yeah.
That was probably like a defining moment. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my dad was, you're right, the approval was there. So it kind of gives...
You felt justified.
Yeah, and it gives boys
the leeway.
How can a boy be a gallus but a girl can't have man? Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that's the kind of attitude we need to change, because your boys need to learn the respect. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
They need to learn the respect. And even if it isn't such a negative thing from like a predatory kind of standpoint, it's all about a respect standpoint. We can't protect our daughters from predators, but not the gallus.
Okay.
You got
go on, continue, go on.
Yeah, and that's it.
Just touching on that same point, because it's exactly that, like, because the protection of the daughters isn't, like you just said, it's not just about the predator. It's just about just the regular guy as well, who is just treating her away. Who's just being fuckeries. You see what I'm saying? Like you said, you're bringing a whole trailer load of gal through the yard and getting the seal of approval for it. So you're basically being told, go and disrespect all of these gal. And
I wasn't disrespectful.
No, but you probably was though.
I wasn't.
You probably was.
I wasn't.
Let's keep it a buck. Oh, right.
And then things like music, like, you know, like as much as like I don't like to blame music for things, but it actually has a part to play.
Yeah.
One of my favourite tunes here when I was a kid, I might have been about 9 or 10. Top Cat. Man a gallus. I mean, I love that. Gallus. Like proper tunes, and Beanie Man. Beanie Man. What was the tune? Or Would You? Over the dicky diggy. They were my tunes. You get me? Yeah. So that just goes to show, like, that kind of whole, this is acceptable for guys, was drummed into me. You get what I'm saying? Music, seal of approval, obviously, like, friends. Because, to be honest, for a long time, I was really shy. I know you've known me from, like, alright, so just for the record, like, we've known each other from sandpit. You know what I'm saying? From the sandpit. Like, we grow together, our families know each other. And so you've always known me. Yeah, cool. And
so that's why when you're telling me you're shy,
because
I'll give you the absolute side eye, because I'm like...
No, but I was shy with girls. And the thing is, I would overcompensate.
Right, okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I remember times being...
This context now makes sense now. But for you to just say I was shy...
I was shy. So if I liked some girl, I would be either...
Hella fucking rude.
Hella rude.
Yeah. That's what you was hella rude.
I was hella rude, or very dismissive. Like, I fancy the pants off of her, but she's not in the room.
Do you know what? No, do you know what? I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like you was the guy, yeah. The typical guy who'd be like, yo, babes, this, that, and she say whatever, and like, fuck off then, your buttons, isn't it? No, that was you.
Never that. I would never do that, because you know what it is?
Go on.
If I liked her, I wouldn't even try and call her. I would just have her. I don't know why. I would just. I'm like, yeah. Or like she'd be coming around and she'd be like, you lot around. I'd be like,
this girl.
Yeah, what you do? Like, who's this, man? Why is she even here? That's the rude side, isn't it? And people be like, what? But that's, I don't know why. It's like I would shun them, but try and pull them close. Or act like they're not there. I'll come into a room. The girl that I fancied, like from year 9 to year 10, year 11, that's in the room, I just pretend she's not there.
Mad.
But then eventually, like, once I get over that foolishness, then we're cool. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's why I was shy. But I also had this thing in my head that, okay, once you get over that, that's my entrance. It's a bit shit.
That's your foot in the door.
That's my foot
in the door. Then you can do
it's mad. And I used to look at the way they would react in it. So if I was cheeky, but you would still be trying to chat, then okay, that's a bit of a green light.
Isn't it?
Yeah, or I'd pretend you're not there and you'd want me to, hey, hello. Okay, green light. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a very backwards way of doing things. But
did it work for you?
They had a decent success rate. But the problem is, I wasn't forceful in it. I would never be forceful. And I never believed in that. Do you get what I'm saying? I've never done that whole fuck off by your butters. I've never
not even one time.
Never. I'm not that guy in it. I've never been like that. I'm not salty or nothing. I don't come across that. I'm not jealous. That's just not my thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not really my thing. And I'm not sure about how some guys have that aggressive stance. I don't know where it comes from. What they're exposed to for the aggressive side. Yeah. I'm not sure where that is. I've seen guys like we've all tried to grab each other's hand, hey. But like then it's the politeness and how hard you're not trying to grab you. I'm just trying to get your attention. Then you got some guys, oh, come here, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't get that.
Not letting go.
Yeah.
So it's one thing, you've already reached, you've already violated my fucking space because you're touching me, I ain't giving you permission to touch me. And then now I'm just trying to like, and it might not even be rude, it's just acknowledging, bro, like. Yeah. And then man, when one draw off your arm, it's like, how are you going to be mad at me for your violation? Yeah. That don't make no sense.
Yeah. It's mad. There's a lot of re-education that needs to go on. And I feel like every man, it's your duty to speak to your young sons, your nephews, the youths, your youngers or whatever, and just let them know like, wow, like you've got to respect the women that.
So on that note, then, what's like? Because obviously we've sat and we've talked about, all right, it could be from past traumas, it could be from this, like society, and how we've kind of been taught like don't speak to strangers and all of this. Fine. So you're saying this about education. What can parents be doing other than just like the direct? What kind of things can we be doing to more engage the youth, engage with them? You see what I'm saying?
I feel like, to be honest, I don't have all the answers.
No.
But conversations are important. Conversations are important. Like, let your kids watch this.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you some people like cringe. They can't talk to their kids about sex, or they can't talk to their kids about. Let them watch something. Let them watch something that you approve of and watch it with them.
Yeah. And
then, do you get what I'm saying? Some people are not teachers. They can't teach. They can't guide. Like, and it's unfortunate because to be a parent, you don't need to have children. You don't need to have
the parents' guidance.
No, you don't have to do that. Like, you just have to
get in there. Yeah. Just get stuck in and do it.
You get what I'm saying? And some parents are going to be stronger in some things than others. But find a book, read it together.
Yeah.
Like, re-educate yourself at the same time. Then, if anything, do you get what I'm saying? And we're in the podcast generation. There's a lot of podcasts. Check out the Affiya Effect, and you know what I mean.
Gang.
And then just.
I just feel like in this life and times of technology, there's no reason for anybody to be ignorant in it. There's no reason, because you can find out anything. So if a parent say, "Oh, but I don't know how this and I don't know that," and this that generational gap, the kids are interacting differently. This is all fact. They are, but as a person who's an adult, you've managed to go from your youth days to your adulthood, and it's all a transition and a change in it. So equally, now looking at the transitions that happen, you just go with the times in it. And anything that you don't know, like in anything in life, you don't know, you ask questions. If you're not an expert, you find out who is the expert.
Yeah.
Get me? If you haven't had something has happened in your life and it's a first time experience, you don't find somebody who's had that similar experience, be like, yo, this thing's going on for me, what can I do? And all of that. And I feel like definitely having conversations with kids, but not from a standpoint, and some people might disagree with this, but not from a standpoint of parent to child. And this will vary depending on the age of your child, innit? Because I feel like at some stage in life, the kids do need to know the boundaries of parent-child. They do need to know that. But I think as they're getting older, they get to a phase where you have to start talking to not as a friend, but just on a people level. See what I'm saying? Because I'm grown, and I can say as a grown woman, there's certain experience that I've had in my life as an adult that even now, I'm only just starting to have conversations with my mum on a personal level, woman to woman, innit?
Yeah.
Mum, this is going on, and she ain't talking to me like she's my mum. It's like, right, if you was a friend of mine, and I'm using this term loosely because I don't want people to feel like you can't just talk to your mum like she's any person from the road. I don't mean it like that, but I just feel like there's certain things that you should be good at that happen in your life, and you need to be able to talk to your parent on a more of kind of like peer-to-peer type situation. See what I'm saying? As a woman, this happened, like, imagine now, maybe it's different for guys, because like you saying, you was getting spuds from your dad and that, like, all the girls and that, but, like, talking about certain relationships, it's like, raw, this happened to you, I don't think I would have took that. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, I'm putting my own business on the line, just saying parents, innit? I see certain things, I'd be like, what? Are you mad? How? Do you see what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people don't have conversations with their parents on a personal people-to-people level. So I feel like maybe that's something that we can start doing with the younger generations to be like, look.
But where's the level though? Because you can blur lines, and if you blur lines, then you lose. All right, see, I don't know, but you have to. There's a balance in it. Being friendly, getting on, and being able to be approachable is a fantastic quality from a parent. Yeah. But equally, being a parent is so important. Yeah. So you can blur the lines. So that's why I say these uncomfortable conversations, because they have to be uncomfortable at some stage.
And part of that uncomfortability is giving the child, again, my opinion, giving the child the kind of level. And again, I'm not saying they're the same as you. I'm not saying that at all. But giving them the opportunity to be in that space with you.
Because you should listen to them.
Do you see what I'm saying?
And if you just do the whole parent thing, you probably just talking
at them. Exactly. Yeah. So you want to give them the opportunity. But what's the age?
Because you don't want to, like, you know what? Again, just based on your children. Yeah. Based on you. And you. If your children are not mature enough to have certain conversations and not work out the boundaries and say this conversation and this part of our relationship is, got a little bit more leeway than this part. So I'm not just gonna treat my mum like my virgin full time. There's a boundary.
There is a boundary, and I think maybe to address the question that you just asked is to say we're about to have a conversation, and in this space you're free to talk and express yourself. You know.
Okay. So you're
giving them the space. Once you come out of that space, don't feel like you can come and chat to them. Right formation. Get into formation. So again, that's maintaining boundaries, but it's also allowing the children to know, right, I can actually have a conversation and be treated like I don't want to use the term here, but I can be received in a way that I'm not going to get just treated like a child who doesn't know anything.
I hear you. I hear you.
So again, just saying, right, this is your allocated time. Once this time is done, know yourself, innit? Yeah. But I think that could possibly.
I hear you. As I say, there is no right or wrong way, but it has to be done. Conversations have to be had, and just all right. What do you think about looking through your kids' phones? Because we're in a Snapchat, obviously Snapchat, like messages disappear and that, but
that's what makes it techie though.
If you look through their phones, then you see the realness. But if you look through their phones, you lose trust. And you then probably run the risk of not having the open conversations. It's very techie. It's important. I guess sometimes, it's all about the relationship with your children, how honest and open you feel your children are being. Yeah. But sometimes you gotta go for a phone, bro.
It's mad. It's mad.
Okay.
I mean,
give me the phone. Unlock it. And you know you did unlock it.
It's mad.
Unlock it, and they unlock it. That's it.
No, but imagine now, Let's read. Well, obviously we didn't have we didn't have all of that when it was coming up, innit? But imagine now, your mum or dad had said to you when you was on the roads doing what we've kind of touched on what the things you was doing, and your mum's gone into your phone or whatever it was that you had at the time. That's a violation.
But I've been in trouble. Right, I've done some things.
Right, so imagine it was your room then, and your mum just comes search up all your things and all of that.
What I'm saying is, I've been in trouble, innit? I've done things that have put me in trouble with the law, and I've been in trouble with, or me and my guys have had trouble with some other guys. That intervention might have been fucking well received.
Right. In hindsight, you can say that, but I'm asking. That's why you're asking. How would you feel
at the time? But then,
as a youth at that age, knowing the youth that you was at that time. No, don't matter.
You know what?
No. Knowing how you was at that time, put yourself back into that youthful energy.
I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
You're living in your parents' yard, and then your mum says, "Yo, go. I'm going through the things."
Do you know
how are you feeling in that moment?
I feel like this is one of the differences between cultures. Yeah, sorry. So from another culture now, they might not do that, but then I think there's a direct correlation with success.
Okay.
And I think and education. There's things that we're not homing in on. So sometimes going through a phone or going through a bedroom or whatever highlights something. Okay.
What do you mean?
All right. So if my parents had gone through my room before I got in trouble with the feds, they would have seen all the money in my room, and they could have knocked me straight.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it might have stopped the trouble.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Where I get this money from? You get what I'm saying? So that might have been something. Or if I did very well in school.
I mean, yeah.
If I was failing in school and they didn't pay interest in my stuff or didn't go through my homework or look through certain things, then they might have identified that something's going wrong. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, especially if you don't have an open relationship, so if you and your children are cool and they talk to you and they trust you, then I feel like you might not have to cross that line.
Yeah.
But if you think that your kid's being a bit shady, everything's okay, how are you doing? I'm fine, but it's a bit shady, you might have to do the search. You might have to do the search.
You might have to do the search.
You might have to do it, because if you've asked a question
and it ain't been answered,
it's not being answered right, or the attitude is a certain way, you might have to do the search. And that tough love thing. The tough love is a thing, you know.
It is a thing.
It's important. Sometimes you have to do that tough love. And so me looking back as an adult, certain interventions from my parents, I would have been cool with. It would have been.
But I don't know if you would have been cool with it at the time.
But I couldn't. You know my dad.
Adult now.
You know my dad, right?
Yeah.
You know I couldn't tell him nothing. If he was there, I could tell him nothing. So he could go for everything. I'll take it. But the fact is, it's where you end up, innit? And I think that's one of the things. If you don't go through it and your kid a couple of months later or 2 years later, or 3 years later, that's like that. So you make that judgment call, innit?
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to do it.
Right.
I've been through my children's phone, you know.
See, that's mad.
I've been
but
through
you know what it is? I just feel like any generation, even if you're going through the phones, even if you're searching up the things, the youths them always know a way to finesse the situation, innit?
Only when your dad. Listen,
think about it. Like you said, you was in your parents' yard. You got things under the bed. You got this, that. And if they found it, you would have found another way to circumvent it and bust the next thing.
All I'm saying is, listen, I consider myself a young, cool parent. Yeah, I'm not over the hill. I know how to use a phone. I know what happens on the roads. I'm still active. I'm in the clubs. Like I'm out here. You get what I'm saying? So there's things that I still that I teach my daughters. You get what I'm saying? So at the moment, I think I'm unfinessable.
Man said
from a kid.
The fact that you can say you're unfinessable with kids as a parent means you're finessable, bro. It means you're finessable.
Nah.
Because anyone who feels like as a parent they can out finesse their kids in certain respects, fam.
I'll tell you why I'm finessable, because kids, every single child, that does bad things, they don't cover their tracks. Like career criminals get better with age. Yeah. Like if you're on badness, you get better with age. You don't cover. You think you're a genius, and you left PMS. Yeah, like children are not good at covering their tracks. So unless they've been doing this shit for a
time.
minute, so unless you're like if your daughter's 15 and she's been on crud since she's 8.
No, I think you. Then of course you can't finesse you.
You can't finesse me. So maybe when they're 21, I can't. But then I'm not even gonna look into your stuff. I trust you at 21. I should have raised you good enough that when you're 21, I trust you.
Do your thing. Alright, so let's clarify for me then, because I'm obviously was on a. When you said the use them can't finesse you and blah blah blah. What kind of spectrum of
my
age
children?
Your kids.
My children.
Are from which age to which age for everyone who don't know?
So my youngest is 1 month. He can't finesse me. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then my son is 9.
Yeah.
He can't finesse me.
Okay.
Then my daughter is 13 and then 15.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm unfinessable. I'm better than them. Fuck it. I'm better than them. I hope they're not watching, by the way.
No, and as well, it's just like all kids, and I'm not saying don't go for your kids' phones, because every parent is every parent is going to parent their kids however they see fit in it. So it is what it is. But youths are going to be youths no matter what. And again, people are going to be like, but you don't even have kids, so rare to whatever. They are though. Any generation.
That whatever sounded a bit salty though.
No, do you know what it is? Because I feel like it's not everything in life you have to have experienced to have an opinion about it. Do you know what I mean?
You're a human.
And a lot of people. And I'm a teacher. Let me just divert a little bit, right?
Now everyone's homeschooling their youths. Do you know how many of you are under pressure because you can't teach the youths them in the yard? They're your own kids. You got your own kids in the house, yeah? And you can't deal with your own kids in the house with the homeschooling. Do you know why? Because they spend more time with the teacher. And I say that because, I'm like, you don't have kids today, but I'm with youths so many hours in the day. Yeah. That for someone to tell me I can't have an opinion about what it means to educate and raise and inform and empower a child is so nonsense. Because, like I said, in a school environment, your child will probably be with me more hours of the day than they are with you. Just an opinion, isn't it? I'm just saying.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, go
as long as you teach with passion, then it's fine.
No, you have to, because like I said, like when I teach children, every child that is in my care, I handle them as if they were mine. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and that could be the kids that I teach, that could be kids within my family. Any child that comes within my care, I'm going to handle them as if they were my own child, innit? That doesn't mean I'm going to lick down anybody's child, because I might actually be my own kids. But I'm not going to put my hands on no one else's child. But like,
you care about them in that way.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to give them the same time, the same affection, the same like discipline within reason, obviously, as I would if they were my own. So I say all of that to say that, like, with the youths, it's like they're all going to do what they want to do anyway. I'm not saying just let them run unruly, but just have the understanding as a parent that we were out doing madness without our parents knowing that we were probably raised better than to do the things that we were doing. You know what I'm saying?
Realness, that's the realness.
Like, so again, I'm not saying give the youths them leeway, but just kind of understand that, like, whatever we kind of do to control them, they're gonna find a way to go and do what kids do, because that's what children do.
All right. I agree with you. You've done well, but I want to tie back in. Yeah, you've done well. You've done well, because for me to just be like completely sold, you've done well. Because more time I've got, I come back. That's what I mean by that.
Which you're going to give me now?
No, I'm going to try and loop it right back to the initial conversation with the guy, the little piece of shit from Mitcham. Yeah, what's his name? Kieran or what? Caden or some shit. What is
Dirty Bungle? That's
what is the kind of punishment that someone like him deserves? And if there was a way of if punishments were given like the way you're going to describe, do you think it would also change the culture of what happens? So yeah, what kind of punishment do you think he deserves?
Do you know what? Because I'm split with this, right? Because if you know, like I said, if you know the Affiya Effect is all about positivity. I'm a yoga instructor as well, so it's all about like mindfulness, yogi living, and being peaceful.
Yogi living?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. It is.
What?
It is.
Yogi?
Yeah. What? Yeah, I've got a yogi mind. Not only I, everybody has a yogi mind, right?
Alright, we'll go into that.
We'll go into that in a bit. Right. So from one angle, from the yogi mind is we don't have the jurisdiction to cast judgment on anybody.
Okay.
That's the yogi mind. The South London mind is like, man them need to find him and do whatever man them decide to do. Because I know if it was my child, I'm living in the jail. I will happily go. Take me in it. It's okay. Yeah. Because there's absolutely nothing worse for me than people who are interfering with children.
Of course. Do you think jungle justice is what they should get? And again, the man them that are doing it, they will obviously receive sentences, because aggravated assault probably carries more of a charge than what he's done. So if you bust his head, he'll probably be in jail longer than him for what he's done. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's try and keep it in the realms of the law and the judicial system. What do you think is an adequate sentence for him? Or what do you think, some people like that should get? Right. Currently they get nothing, and little slap on the wrist and fines and 2 years here and protected wing and all that. But what do you think they should get?
That is absolute madness to me.
100.
Yeah, alright, cool. So we're going by legalities and the system and all of that. And I just feel like if somebody gets found guilty for something like that, it's just straight life.
That's
it.
Because it's life for a life, isn't it?
Yeah, because that person, you've taken their life. They're living, but they ain't alive.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Agreed.
They're living, but they're not alive.
And do you think if a sentence like that was passed on to people that do those kind of things, do you think that it will prevent some other people from doing it?
100. Is it going to deter absolutely everybody? No, because certain people are wild. You can have any kind of punishment, and some people are so sick in the head they don't care.
There's man walking around Saudi Arabia with one hand, and there's still teething.
Well, this is exactly what I was going to say. So you know that I've spent the past 5 years living in the Middle East, right? So I lived in Qatar, and for anybody who doesn't know, Qatar is ranked as one of the safest countries in the world. Okay. Right? I can leave my phone. Imagine this is Qatar, yeah? I got my phone, wallet, purse, everything here on the table. I walk down the road 10 minutes. I will come back and my shit is still on the table.
Like that?
Like that. You think you could do that right now? I walk.
You couldn't even do it in the room with me and you. I'd take that shit.
You see what I'm saying? So, I lost my train of thought now. Where am I going with this? What was he saying before?
We're talking about the sentences.
The sentences, right. So, I said that to say, the reason why that is permitted is because the laws of the country are so strict and enforced to such a level that people know, raw. As tempting as that money is right there,
it's not worth my life.
It's not worth my life. Don't get me wrong. Someone...
Yeah, there's an opportunity somewhere.
Right.
But they fall in line, basically.
But globally, though, people understand. The rules of the land are, if I trouble this thing, it's long for me, innit? It's long. So I feel like in the same way, if the rules and the regulations and the legal system of this country were stricter in those regards, 100% these things wouldn't happen as much. Yeah. Because people would understand there's a real life consequence. Going back to the youths then, if the youths feel like, I can do this and my dad ain't going to say shit, they're going to run riot. They're going to do a madness. But if they know, raw, dad is absolutely going to bust my ass if I do this. Some of them will still, but others of them will just be like, do you know, it's not worth it. Yeah. So 100% life.
Yeah, I agree. Life for a life, man. You know, I agree.
Because their life is gone. Can't have a relationship properly.
Yeah. You can't get out of the window. Trust issues is mad.
Like, you're trying to leave the yard, you know them.
For years. Like that little girl's gonna have to, their mum might have to leave work to take her kid to school every day now because she ain't trying to do no walking on her own. Do you know what I mean? It's a proper madness. Alright, so people, we've had a good old chit chat about the parents and what we should do in regards to helping our kids. So now let's have a little chat. This yogi mind thing. So the Affiya Effect. Yeah. Let's have a little chat about that.
Okay, yalla, go.
So the Affiya Effect. I remember when you was over from Qatar before, you was having a chat. You telling me about it. Yeah. And just before you was getting it started, you was procrastinating, and I was like, "Go for it, man!" And now it's alive. It's doing its thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's my baby.
So it's a well-being platform.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
Alright, so essentially the reason why I created the Affiya Effect was because personally in my own life, just living, travelling, doing what I do, whatever, just in life, as you go through life, you go through phases, and it's just like, I wanted to go through my own kind of self-development in it, because I feel like as you get older, certain things that you was focusing on before, they ain't your focus no more. See what I'm saying? You see that there's actually a lot more to life than the little dibby things that you're trying to focus on as a youth. So as I'm going through my journey and that, I started to get into yoga and meditation and other kind of like spiritual wellness practices. And I found that whenever I was in those kind of spaces, as a black woman, it was just me, or maybe one other one. So I was just like, well, I can't be, and I know that I'm not, because in my group of friends who similarly, again, at a certain age, going through certain things in life, were kind of like, I was like, well, it's not just me who wants to practice these things and be aware of these things and have a space where I can develop and grow myself and learn certain things that are helping me to contribute in my spiritual growth. So I was like, all right, cool. Rather than complaining, because I feel like as a community we do a lot of that. We ain't got this, why ain't we got that? And da, da, da. Rather than complaining about not having space, I was just like, fuck it, let me just go create a little thing and share what I've kind of learned and other things, and kind of bring people into that space to sharing all of that information ultimately. So we kind of cover, you know, like mental health, we cover nutrition, we cover spirituality, all of the dimensions of wellness really is kind of what the aim is to be the platform, black-centered platform, I must say. Because, like I said, I've always been the only black space in the platform, and the only black person in the space. And it's like, as black people, we resonate with things differently to other races and other cultures. So the way certain teachings and certain philosophies come from certain people, it's like, all right, cool, I get it, but we got it over here as well, and it's the same message really, but we resonate and connect with things differently. So I feel like it's very important for us to have culturally relevant spaces for us to go through those practices and those kind of stages through life. So that's kind of what it is.
No, that's good. That's good. These are like new words that are flying around. You know, like see, like well-being. These are like I'm definitely wrong, but they feel like new words.
Why do they feel like?
You know, like it just feels like new words, and you see, like,
But why?
I feel like I explain what I mean.
Yeah.
Let me try and understand that. Let me try and get it out of the way. It's in my head, but it's not making any sense. All right, so basically, recently, you know, like veganism, and there's so much things that have become a way of life for people. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like well-being and all the things that are attached to well-being have always been there, 100%. But they're things that haven't been highlighted. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's probably a community of people, you know, like the typical hippie kind of, hey man, you know, the Hare Krishna kind of guy. Those guys there. They probably always been into that. Do you get what I'm saying? The guys that have been they sit down and they meditate and they, you know, they're in touch with their spiritual being and stuff. I guess that's always been there. But for black people, it's not there.
No, that's wrong.
Let me explain. When I say for black people, not talking about for every single black person. I'm talking about for a black man where I come from.
Where you come from?
My local, but the local. From my experience as a young black man coming up, that's never been something that's even been introduced into my world. I believe I'm well-rounded.
Are you worldly?
I think I'm worldly. I think I'm well-rounded. I think I've educated myself to a certain point. I've exposed myself to a thing, and I've been exposed to things. But something like this has never come up in my surroundings. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's really interesting because I do know that a lot of my brothers suffer. Do you get what I'm saying? We got mad trauma. The things that happen on the road, they create so much trauma in your mind. You don't even like seeing your friends die, and jail's not even normal. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's man who's been banged up for a long time and they've never had an outlet. Obviously, you know, he was telling me, we're having a conversation before, he was telling me that the suicide rate amongst black men is astronomical. It's the biggest killer for black men, right?
Got the highest demographic in the whole of the UK.
So that there just goes to show. So what I mean by that,
sorry to cut you, but like we were saying in that same conversation, black men have got the highest rate of suicides and yet the lowest rate of seeking therapy.
All right, but that leads back to what I'm saying in terms of, I believe that there's a big section of people that don't even know that this stuff exists. They don't even know that there's little things like, because what you're doing is not necessarily therapy, it's more so awakening people and letting them get in touch with it. So sometimes just being in touch with it yourself help me deal with it and help me channel my energy in a certain way, or let me focus, let me meditate, let me let go of that, like the chi and the cha and all that. You get me?
The chi and cha.
Yeah, like, do you know what I'm saying?
But no, I do fully get it.
So
I fully get you.
It's very important that people like try and tap into these things. As I say, like, because there is that thing, like, we're not dealing with that, man.
Yeah, I eat that too.
Yeah. Meditate what? You get what I'm saying? And, and that's why I think it's, when I said it's like a new thing or these new buzzwords, it's because they are now being, it's in our world.
But let me give you an example of why that isn't strictly true. Because like you said, it's like buzzwords and people don't like connect, and it's only just come out now, but we've known about certain things. Like, you said veganism, right? How long?
I know.
Right.
I know. I tell them.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
So it's not that these things are, and that ties back to what I said about things resonating with us differently. Because when certain people are talking about vegan this and dairy free that and
And
the concept,
gluten-free.
right?
My whole life, I didn't know what a gluten was. I don't think there was any gluten-free, nothing from my whole up till I was 20-something. Like, gluten was just a thing. And now everything's got, it's free of it.
Yeah. So what, I'm fucking up weak. So, right, so the vegan thing now. What I said before about we culturally resonate with things differently. So when someone says to you veganism, that first initial thing, it might throw you initially in it. Like we're talking about when it first started to kind of come into the fore as a mainstream thing. But the concept, the core concept of it, you tie back to Rasta, Aital, free from the earth living. This is not a new concept to you, but your culture tells you it in this context, and they're bringing it to you from that. It's packaged different.
Yeah. So when it comes in that package, it's like, what are you talking about? What's
what I'm
this?
saying?
You get what I'm saying?
What about that?
So
but ultimately, at the core, it's the same thing. So when I'm talking about like the meditation and the yogas and all of this, it comes in a different package from over there, but you can relate. And when people like doing chanting and stuff, right? When you see that the fucking Buddhist man them and they got the little chime and the gong and all of that, right? It might seem a bit like, what? But again, culturally, Rasta man chanting, drums and all of this, it's the same thing. We just understand it in a different way and we feel it more.
Babylon, your tune gone, gone. Babylon, your tune gone.
Right, is it there? So, if I was to say to you, right, come, we're going to hold a meds and we're going to chant and all of this, you're probably going to feel it and it's actually going to resonate with you more if I do it with you in that sense than if I bring the gong and the fucking...
The Buddhist style, yeah.
Right.
Like, what's this?
So this is what I'm saying. So it's again, part of why I did the Affiya Effect is to kind of introduce and let people, remind people, not to really to introduce necessarily, but to remind people all of these things that are being packaged to you as something, don't feel like it's not for you. Don't feel like you can't have access to it, because really and truly, all of these things, they're just rebranding the thing that we've been doing from Were They anyway.
Like,
so I'm saying,
like avocado is pear. We know about pear
from a long time.
About pear, but it's all new things. You know, smash the avocado on toast. Yeah, it's all things are rebranded and repackaged
and resold in a way that, and then we get it back, and we're like, oh, okay, it's something new. No, it's not new. They just took the thing and resold it. So I'm saying.
So you now, I noticed that you have a few guests on your live and stuff.
Shout out everyone who's been on my live though. Big up you lot.
Yes, proper South girl. But yeah, but
I'm not sorry, but
yeah. What about? I noticed that you had a few platforms for men. Let's have a little chat about that.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. Because as you said, the high suicide rate amongst black men mean that there's a lot of trauma and a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And you did a workshop. I didn't make it to that one, but you did something. Like, what was that about, and how can men get involved?
Yeah, so the workshop that we did was essentially about what we just talked about, kind of getting black men into yoga. That is the one that we're talking about, right? Yeah. And it was, again, to kind of readdress this narrative that yoga's for white women, it's not for black men. And encouraging... Why are you laughing?
Because I just thought of like a 40-year-old white woman going to yoga. Yeah. So
yeah, that was, again, to kind of change the narrative. Because like you just said, black men have the highest rate of suicide, at least in the UK, I don't know about the States or anywhere else. So this is an indication that collectively, as a community, as a demographic, black men are not doing well. See what I'm saying? Am I saying that yoga is a solution to all? No, I'm not saying that. What the purpose of kind of creating a platform and doing the work that I've been doing is to say to guys, you have alternative outlets. See what I'm saying? There are things that you can be doing that if you're feeling stressed, just sit down literally. And it doesn't have to be, again, how it's packaged. People think, meditation, so that means I've got to sit in the yard and I've got to do the thing. No, just sit in your yard and settle. You know what I mean? Just sit in your house, just be with yourself for a minute, innit? Like, you don't have to be anywhere special to meditate. You don't have to have any special equipment. If you got breath in your body, you can meditate, innit? What you're going to do is sit down and focus on yourself and breathe. So, to go back to the actual question, which was, remind me.
About how can we get involved? What can we do as a people, not just men, but like, how can we get involved with the Affiya Effect, and how can we like just be a part of what happens? I noticed that you also do the affirmations and stuff. Yeah. Which is dope. Like,
thank you.
I do that with the kids sometimes.
Oh, bless.
So I should do it more often, but I do it sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, so let us know on it that we want to get involved. We want in.
So the affirmations are essentially just like little daily boosters, innit? Because every day we can be going through something. And I find that when I do the daily affirmations, I get a lot of people hitting me up, I needed that today. Like, that really resonated and it resounded with me and whatever. So that's just like a little daily booster to kind of allow people to kind of have something in the day, a little positive vibe in it. So there's that. The event that I done recently, last week Saturday actually, was called the Wellness Experience, and that was my first step, my first entrepreneurial foray into creating a retreat. So given the fact that we're still in COVID, we can't congregate, can't get together. So we did it virtually online. It was a few hours, it was like 9:30 till like 3 o'clock. Where people came on, we did different wellness practices. So we had sessions of yoga, we had qigong, we had some Pilates, so lots of physical things. We also had some workshops about self-love. We had another workshop which was like 7 steps to self-discovery. So in the workshops, people could come in, receive some information, work through some little tasks and stuff. And just lots of different opportunities, like I said, kind of exposing people to the different ways that you can manage your mental health and just your life in general, innit? Like, so again, maybe you've never done yoga before. So this...
I have, you know.
I'm saying maybe you haven't. Yeah. Maybe you're a person who hasn't. So the wellness experience was an opportunity to say, all right, let me go and see some alternative things that I can be doing to help me in my kind of like... What again now? Just in my daily life, innit? Managing my shit.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I went to... I did go yoga once, you know. Desert took me.
Desert took you?
Yeah, we went hot yoga. We went hot yoga in
Big up Desi though, man like D.
Yeah, we went hot yoga in Junction. And it's mad because again, I think it was good. Yeah. But my headspace, I didn't know what I was doing. It meant nothing to, I was there saying, clear your mind. I'm thinking, how do you clear your mind? What do you mean?
Can't clear it. Yeah. I think that's a big misconception as well.
Yeah, man.
You cannot clear your mind, gang.
Yeah. So these are things that are teaching that you need to have an understanding. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, cool. Let me clear my mind. Oh shit, I'm thinking now. Oh god, I don't stop thinking. I can't stop thinking.
That's the thing.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Right, here's the thing. So on the session that you were talking about, when I done before the wellness experience, I did do that little workshop for men to come on. And I must say, the feedback from that was really good because the guys that did it said to me they really appreciated just being with mandem. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Everyone was just like, it was nice just to be with guys and understand, because a lot of the guys had never done yoga before, or they felt they had their preconceptions of it. And they were like, it was nice to know they weren't just me in the room struggling to touch my toes and like, you know, breathing and going through these things. So the guys really enjoyed it just for having the guys there. I just started talking. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Don't worry. So anyway. What was I saying though? I wanted to get back to something.
You talking about clearing your mind.
Yes, there you go. Fucking hell, mate. I need to clear my own fucking mind, obviously. So on that session, what I was saying. So I was saying, so the session that you referred to, where I had the guys come on and they were participating in certain things, which was like, you know, exclusively for the guys. One of the analogies that I gave them to try to understand what meditation is and how to clear your mind is like, I was saying to them, right, so imagine, you can do it with me now. So imagine you're walking, you don't have to close your eyes.
Okay.
But imagine you're walking down the road, and you're with your woman. So you're walking down the road with your woman, and you see your ex-girl coming down the road. So you're walking and you see the ex-girl coming. As she's coming towards you, are you going to stop? Your woman's beside you, you know. Are you going to stop in the middle of the high road with your ex-girl and be like, what, go on, babes? How you going? And get engaged in a big conversation with her?
Well, not like that, but like...
Are you going to... No, but the question, are you going to engage...
Like that?
In a conversation? Well, you got two... What are the options? You can engage in a conversation or do what?
Say hi and keep it moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what meditation is. Yeah? When you have all the thoughts coming into your head, you see them, you acknowledge them,
just keep it moving.
And you let them go. You don't stay and be like, to give an example. So you're sitting in the house, trying to meditate, thought comes into your head, I'm hungry. Alright, I'm hungry. Sit calm. Just chill. Yeah. Or you can be like, I'm hungry. Raw, what's in the fridge? Raw, man ain't eating for morning, this, that, that. And you're engaging with that thought now, isn't it? And then it goes off into a trail and you start doing a whole next madness and then the kids, I've got to cook for the kids and my girl and this, that. That's engaging with the thought. That's you being on a madness.
So the thought come, they're going to come.
They're going to come.
You just got to let them pass.
You just got to let them pass.
You just got to dodge them. So the thought comes. Jeez.
Exactly. Okay. So people have this misconception that when they're meditating and when they're going to meditate, that they're going to sit down and their whole mind is going to be blank.
Yeah, because that's what I struggle with. I literally sat there thinking, this don't make no sense.
No, it's a false narrative.
And everyone's there like, they're lying. They can't.
To be fair, there are different types of meditation. Let me put that out there first. But observation meditation, which is what